What in the world is that one doing?
That's what they do.
Whoa!
They jump, they dance, they go all over the place.
Can you see it?
They do that stuff all the time.
Bounced in the air. Okay, you guys, we're at the Louisville Zoo right now, still at the Conservation Center. The Louisville Zoo is very focused on animal conservation and helping out many struggling species. So these are a few species actually that have currently gone extinct throughout the years. And one actually over here is the vaquita that's not extinct yet. There's only a few left in the wild. And the reason these signs are here, because the animal we're seeing today was almost at this point. But if it wasn't for places like the Louisville Zoo, these animals would be gone. And they're doing a great job. And let's go and see somebody to talk about today's animal. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, nice to meet you.
Hi, what is your name?
I'm Chris Florence, head keeper here at the Black-Footed Ferret Conservation Center.
Black-Footed Ferrets is what we're here to see today.
Yes.
So are they in there right now? Explain the setup right here. What's going on with this?
So this is our Black-Footed Ferret. This is our clean room. So we have 26 adult Black-Footed Ferrets in here. Each one of them is housed individually, and we have 13 males and 13 females. So
okay.
Split ratio.
Real quick, before we dive into the details about what a Black-Footed Ferret is, can you tell me what is this program about? What in the world is that one doing?
That's what they do.
Whoa!
They jump, they dance, they go all over the place.
Can you see it? It was. Is that a female or a male? Who is that?
That's a female.
It's a female.
They do that stuff all the time.
Bounced in the air.
And that's all natural behavior that they do all the time. That helps them survive in the wild as far as getting away from predators or getting back to their hole to go down to their burrows underground. They do a lot of funny stuff like that. They're very unique animals.
I can tell you, I thought she was dancing, or I don't know what I thought was happening. That was very, okay, back on track. Here we go. Let's wrangle it in. So can you tell me a little bit, these little tubes?
Yeah.
Did we talk about the tube at the bottom of the base there? What is that?
So the black tubes, those simulate your burrows that go underground to get down to the prairie dog burrows. The prairie dogs dig all these burrows out underground, and it's almost like a prairie dog town. So there's chambers and tunnels that go everywhere, and they're utilized by the black-footed ferrets also, and they go down there and use them to hunt smaller mammals, mice, voles, moles, anything that gets down in there they can eat. Same thing with the prairie dogs. Full grown, these ferrets weigh just a little over a pound. Prairie dogs are like 5 pounds. So that's how tough these guys are. To take down a prairie dog, sometimes underground in a burrow that's not very big.
How long would you say they are about? How big is the species? You said they weigh only a pound. What's the length of a?
It's really hard to tell with ferrets because they're really long bodied.
Yeah.
They tend to bunch up and accordion themselves.
Like little tubes.
So yeah, they're about 1.5 feet or so long.
Wow.
But they can double back on themselves in some of the tightest spaces. At the top of the hole, that hole at the top of their box is 4 inches. I've seen as many as 3 or 4 pop their head up when we have babies.
Wow.
And they can all squeeze themselves into that little bitty hole and kind of, I call it periscoping. They periscope up to look for predators, look for danger, and then they can shoot back down if something catches them.
So explain really quickly here to me what the Black-Footed Ferret Conservation Project is and Louisville Zoo's piece in it.
Yeah. So black-footed ferrets, they were almost declared extinct in the 80s. Fish and Wildlife found a remnant population of 18 animals they brought in. Of the 18, 7 reproduced. So all these are related to those 7. We were one of the initial programs to get involved in this in 1991. So we've been doing it over 30 years. Wow. We've produced over 1,000 kits in that time frame. We're one of 6 facilities in North America that breed them. They don't breed them or take care of them anywhere outside of North America. Some are released and some go back into the breeding program to kind of repopulate our breeding population.
Got it.
Among the 6 facilities.
It's a clean air. It's a clean space.
Yes.
So right now I'm wearing booties.
Yep.
I have the little shoe booties on, and we can't go in there because we are not sterile.
Yes.
Okay.
Thankfully, we used to have to shower to go in there before because of canine distemper. Canine distemper, it really affects these guys. So it's outside everywhere on the ground.
Well, at least we know you'd be clean.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's one way to get an extra shower. So they didn't want us to basically spend too much time hovering over top of them, breathing on them. That way they don't get too intertwined with you or think, okay, and start getting a relationship with you looking for anything.
This is one of the ways that facilities and zoos have been able to separate that human-animal connection. Like you have a connection because you're
Yeah.
taking care of the animals, but there's not that, oh, hey, people feed me.
Yeah.
Right?
We don't want them to look to people for anything.
Exactly.
We want them to stay wild. That'll help them in their survival when they get released. So
Awesome.
we want to keep them as wild as possible. One of the cutest things is they literally, when they start off, they're like pinky rats. They got a little bit of fuzz on them. But when they hit about 40 days old, that's when the eyes pop open.
Yeah.
And they start getting their little mask comes in about 30 days. So then that's when they really start looking like a black-footed ferret.
Oh.
And when the eyes pop open, we call that the countdown. Because you can handle them up until that point, but when the eyes open, you get about 2 weeks. And then that's when they realize, I'm a black-footed ferret. You shouldn't be touching me. I'm going to bite you. But we really like that time because that's the time frame when we can handle them and give them their medications orally. Make sure they get it. We can put it in their food, but you never know if one ferret's going to out-eat the other ones, which obviously happens.
Right.
So we like to get our hands on them, and they're super cute at that time. So we kind of take advantage of that. And we like to say, oh, we got about a week left. Like, oh, they're gonna know here soon. So,
Speaking of handling them, is there a comparison for people out there that may know that have gone to pet stores and they've seen regular ferrets at pet stores? Is there a comparison?
The regular ferrets are domesticated from Europe, and they're like the cousins of these guys. And actually, with Elizabeth Ann, when they took her and Willow's embryos, they implanted them into a domestic ferret as the surrogates. Right. So they used the domestic ferrets as surrogates because they're so close. But the domestic ferrets have been used to people, so they're super friendly. Sometimes they, anything with a mouth can bite you.
Right.
But these guys are far into the spectrum, super wild, don't care for anybody or anything.
So the point I want to bring up with that is, do not try to have one of these as a pet. These are wild animals.
Not unless you want to donate some blood and, maybe have something gnaw on your thumb.
Something amputated?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Nice little plug on your thumb there. They like thumb meat.
Earlier off camera, you told me you were a reptile keeper for 15 years.
Yes.
So why the switch? You just realized that mammals are cuter? Got it. No, we got it. It's on the record, mammals are cuter? No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
I've spent a lot of time with mammals over the years with reptiles.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in a good way.
Yeah.
Because the reptiles eat them. But,
Life.
Yeah, that's circle of life, y'all.
Yeah.
But this opportunity came up. Our lead keeper that took care of these, he helped write the manual on taking care of them. So big shoes to follow. And he retired after 30 years.
Wow.
Very, very successful, very nice guy, really great keeper. The challenge came up, and I'd volunteered up there one summer helping him clean males during his breeding season because it gets very, very overwhelming when you have a room full of babies. You got to make sure you keep them clean, fed, that nothing pops up with them, and they can't actually tell you anything is wrong. So you got to be really observant. But that job came open, and I thought, wow, this is a really, really unique opportunity and a challenge because reptiles are my comfort zone. I've been doing reptiles since I was a kid. So this came up, and I thought, wow, this is a really unique opportunity and a challenge. And with 6 facilities in North America, there's not a whole lot of us that do this.
Right.
So yeah, it was mainly just that challenge feature. I thought, wow, this would be really cool and unique and really something special I can get involved in.
So since you've been doing this, do you feel a special sense of importance?
Yeah, no pressure at all.
Right.
It was like taking over for somebody who knew what they were doing for so long, and then taking on an animal I knew very little about. I was just like, oh my goodness, what did I get into? So yeah, it was, you feel, when you see those kits and then you know they're going out for release, or one I reproduced is going to another facility to be part of the breeding program, it's almost just extra special. Yeah. I always like working with the reptiles and everything. They are very special to me. This just kind of took it a little bit further.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. It was a pleasure meeting you, and those little feisty little loud noises, you probably couldn't hear them on camera, but they're feisty little things. Like, they have these insane teeth. So anyways, all right, nice to meet you. My takeaway for today, that black-footed ferrets like thumb meat.
They do.
That's a good takeaway.
I can verify that.